In this segment of the telethon, we wanted to introduce you to a couple of very nice folks, Mel and Karen Strouse, and they're in Beverly Hills. But you have an interesting situation with a couple of folks who benefit from the Key Training Center, and that is Dorothy and Larry Strouse. Now, Mel, this is your brother and sister, actually, and a few years ago, your mother passed away. And you found yourself in the situation where Dorothy and Larry would be living with you, but they needed some special things that the Key Center is able to offer. This story actually started in Ohio, right?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit of the background here on how you came to become Florida residents and bring Dorothy and Larry here.
Well, we were planning to locate in Florida. And in 2000, we bought some property and planned to build eventually when we retired. And in 2002, my mother passed away, and of course, my father was already deceased. And they were in a situation where they could stay in Ohio, at least for my brother, and be taken care of, because he was in a program for over 45 years. And my sister, she was in the same facility, but she was not she was an active employee rather than even though she had some special needs, she's highly functional, where Larry is not. And so there was I tried doing it, I was in Massachusetts at the time, and I tried doing it from there with family members, because we had many family members in Ohio. And that was working fine for about a year. I did use another operation or facility that was similar to Key Center. That was called Luther Home of Mercy. So I used them for about a year. They had somebody come out and visit and make sure that their needs were being met. Now, we were also using family members to make sure that their grocery items and personal items and any medical care they might need, that was be taken care of also. But unfortunately, my brother, in like 2004, had an incident where he was at the workshop, we think, and he had his thumb was smashed, and he had a glove on, and they never really realized it for several days. And then when they finally had him get some medical attention, because of the situation, they decided that he needed a guardian. And there wasn't any family members there that would really wanted to take on that responsibility. So the court was going to appoint an advocacy as a guardianship. And I wasn't too keen on that idea, so I was in a situation where I could retire, and left my wife in Massachusetts, and I came to Ohio to see what the situation was and kind of take care of them and actually get to know them better, because I really had been away from them for about 20 years. And as I learned what their what their needs were, what activities they were involved in, and what line of care they would get if something did happen to family resources. And of course, Larry, he was in a situation where he would automatically go into a group home. However, Dorothy didn't have an option like that. And so I did some research and tried to find out what might be available in Ohio. And the only thing would be like a Lutheran church has assisted living facilities or retirement facilities, but they're fairly expensive.
Right.
Dorothy did not have the resources, financial resources, to pay her way for that for just a short period of time. So then my wife and we had a discussion and decided, well, we'll move them to Florida. But we want to see what kind of resources we have in the area where we've already purchased a property for a home. And through some contacts here in Florida, we heard about Key Center, and we made arrangements to get some more information from about the operation at Key Center. And Jackie Fagan we met with, and she gave us a tour of the operation and gave us all the, kind of answered all of our questions or concerns we had of what opportunities they would have down there, both Dorothy and Larry. So my wife and I, we hadn't had our home built yet, so we had it built a little larger and added a couple of bedrooms and an extra bath that would accommodate Dorothy and Larry, with the idea that they would live with us as long as we could take care of them. But then they could be and be involved in the Key Center, and at some point in time, if the need arose, that they could become residents of a Key Center facility.
And it would be an easy transition because they knew everybody.
That's correct.
Very good. Since they have been a part of the Key Training Center, what are the benefits that you see they're getting as a result of being able to come to the classes, participate in the different events and activities that everybody does here at the Key Center?
Well, speak for my sister first, because she's with the thrift store, and she loves the work over there. And like I say, she's a highly functioning individual, so there are other tasks that she could do, and those opportunities do exist with Key Center and maybe employment outside the Key Center operation. But now so she's just as happy now than she was later, maybe a little more happy, because she didn't have any idea of what it would be like if there wasn't a family member taking care of her, because she's lived with mom and dad all of her life. But because that situation was taken care of for her, she's very happy in what she's doing, but I can't say she wasn't happy in Ohio, because she was living with the parents and she was doing similar operations, dealing with people, taking care of actually did more taking care of senior citizens and stuff like that. But
as far as Larry goes, he's enjoyed a lot of benefits as well, right?
Yeah, well, Larry is, he was in a large operation in Ohio, although he was happy. They did have some extracurricular activities, but because of the transportation issue, when he was still living with the family, with mom, he wasn't able to be involved in those because there was no transportation for him after hours of operation. They were with an organization that they were picked up at the house in the morning and dropped off in the afternoon about 4 o'clock. But if they had a bowling opportunity or whatever other activity, because they lived out in the country, there was no, and my mother wasn't able to drive very far, so they didn't have transportation issues.
Well, the other thing is with Dorothy in particular, she loves the craft classes. They've got cooking classes. There are a couple other things that she's looking at. They gave her 2 pages of activities the other day that are opportunities she never had. Being able to go bowling on Saturday. She won 2 trophies this year. She's so excited. Larry's thrilled with his trophy. He likes going bowling, although bowling isn't his concentration, socialization is. And they both go to all the Key dances. They love them, and they're great opportunities. And again, he's a social butterfly, so we just take them and drop them off, but watch for a while, and he's busy buzzing around the tables. And she has ladies that she works with at the thrift store that she can dance with, and they dance in a group, and she loves to dance. She's got a lot of rhythm, and so this is a fun thing for her.
Now let me ask you, both of you, this has been a great benefit for you too, being able to have the Key Training Center who offers these activities and benefits to Dorothy and Larry. But what has it meant to you as the guardians of Dorothy and Larry?
Well, I think it's we've had a chance to get to know them more. That's, I guess, being brother and sister, it's kind of an unusual situation that I didn't know them before. But because I'm the oldest, and pretty much with the, especially for my brother, with the special needs that he had to have, mom and dad spent a lot of time with him, so I was off doing something by myself. And and being older, I was off to school, and once I graduated from high school, I was gone. So.
But as far as Key is concerned, particularly, they were with us from November through December, and weren't able to get into Key till January 1st of 2008. And so having them home for 2 months, wow, it's hard to keep them busy.
It's hard.
It's hard to get, and so Key to us means a little bit of respite during the day so we can go to the grocery store, get errands done. You know, there's a lot of things we need to do, and this is retirement. So it allows us that opportunity. We just wouldn't have it. There is no such thing as enough respite care for that kind of thing. And they would be bored to death, and our time would all be taken trying to keep them, you know, active and happy.
Right.
So we were all thrilled to death when January 1st, well, 2nd came and they were able to come to Key.
Well, they were too, because they got tired
yeah.
of sitting around the house.
Oh,
What do I do now?
you know, it just, entertainment at home just goes so far.
Well, let me put you in a different situation. If you were talking to someone who was either the guardian of a person with special needs, or maybe they were a parent in their later years, in retirement years, and they had, again, you know, a son or daughter who had special needs, what would you say to them to encourage them about the Key Training Center?
Oh, we would recommend it highly. I mean, it's, I just look at my brother, who, he seemed to be more a loner until he moved with us and lived with us, and once he started going to Key Center, he just kind of blossomed. He's a lot more sociable. He helps my wife around the house. I know he never helped Ma around the house, but maybe because she wouldn't let him, because he'd want to be in the kitchen tasting all the food. But Karen's, you know, let him help with the cooking, and knows where to put things away in the kitchen now, and he's kind of really blossomed.
He's come out of his shell, and a lot of it's attributable to the gals that work with him at Key.
And he definitely, he does not like the weekends.
No.
He wants Monday through Friday, because he can get over to Key and
He starts on Friday night with pack his lunch because he wants to get ready to go, and Dorothy packs his lunch, and he wants her to get it done, and he's like, you know, is it tomorrow? No, it's not tomorrow. It's Monday, and unless you've got really activities planned all weekend, like on the bowling weekends, he can't wait to get back.
So he's excited about
Absolutely.
everything that he gets to do at the Key.
Absolutely.
And it gives Dorothy an opportunity, too, to help him as well.
Well, and they've started him with Meals on Wheels. He loves that.
Oh,
Being
very
able
good.
to go out in the community, greet people. He loves to greet people. So this is another social opportunity. He likes to lift and carry, and they said even in the workshop, he gets his own materials out, and then he likes to help those that are in wheelchairs or disabled in some way. He gets their stuff out because he really enjoys helping other people. It gives him a lot of opportunities he wouldn't have otherwise. So,
Excellent. Well, one final question for you, and I'm sure because you related to it a little bit earlier, it's got to give you some peace of mind that when the two of you get to the point where you won't be able to take care of Dorothy and Larry, that someone is there to be able to help out.
yes. And like I mentioned earlier, that was already in place in Ohio, but it wasn't for my sister. Now it's in place for both of them.
Great, great. Well, Karen, Mel, I want to thank you both for joining us on the telethon.
Thank
you know, wonderful story, and we can see that you're benefiting as well as Dorothy and Larry from the Key Training Center.
absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, back to the telethon.